Outer Orange.
So yeah, we're gonna go over some results, talk about them. Let's go ahead and look at the results and see what we got in store for us. All right, we are starting with the WJP Deluxe 2023 China breakdown. We have 3x the Vanguard. By the way, this is set 13 stuff, so just kind of keep that back of your head. We got the Youthberg, we got OuterOrange, Jeweled, and Charmount, all very strong decks. Vanguard is probably the most interesting and different one here, but let's go ahead and see what the top looks like. So this is what the top came out to be. Youthberg taking first place again. This has been like this for a while with some of these, and the second place to Jewel, third place Leonard. By the way, these two decks also been interchanging between like the top four, and then Charmout that's also been performing here and there. Yeah, we're about to get this in about a month, so soon we're going to be going into this meta with the exception of the lyrical stuff, so we are going to have a little bit of a different meta. Indonesia happens, so we had 2 Gant Diva, 2 Ballista, 1 Minerva, 1 Greed, 1 Bastion, 1 Orphis. You'll notice the Bastion's on the list now. We have Bastion's officially legal for this past weekend, and I think we talked about it here and there that Bastion's actually still pretty good even without the owls, so that's what we're seeing here. Ballista and Godiva obviously still performing, and those are gonna get hit pretty soon, so those decks will be kind of definitely going down a little bit. Like we had a bunch of Godiva, a bunch of Ballista, and then we had the first place Minerva come through. We kind of talk about this meta quite a lot, so I'm not gonna go deep into it. We kind of know what this meta looks like, but congratulations to everybody who competed. Premium first. Now Premium is getting slightly touched and slightly different now, especially now the Night Rose also got the promo is active. Not that it changes the deck too much, but it does change how the deck might function. We had that I think last week as well. I'm pretty sure Maxime Solom had one copy of the promo in his list as well, so that's something I have to keep in mind. 3 Bermuda Triangle, one of which is the Ballista, 1 Lean Trickle, 1 Grand Blue, 1 Mega Colony, 1 Oracle Think Tank, and 1 Genesis. All pretty strong decks. Oracle Think Tank is such a weird one. I'm not gonna lie, if you're like a Grand Blue player, Oracle Think Tank doesn't feel that bad, but if you're like on any other deck though, the Oracle Think Tank can kind of smack you up real hard with Ichikishima and Popo, and this deck's a little bit different. So Battle Sisters, I believe this is Battle Sisters, so this list is a little different. You could still have Popo in it, but this variant usually more focuses on the Battle Sister condition, so that's that. Let's look at what top 4 looked like. So the Ballista did win first place, so a lot of people were definitely shooken up about this, especially since we just had the fan list announced. Second place we had the Highlander, and then third place we had Matthew with League Joker. Fourth place we had Kelvin with Night Rose. I believe Kelvin actually posted his list on Twitter, if I'm mistaken, if it's the same Kelvin I'm thinking of. And with Ballista High Rose, I've talked about Ballista being an X2 deck. I still stand by this. Just because it's an X2 deck doesn't mean it can't win. It just means that it needs to high roll a lot, and we've had high roll decks in the past win, like Astropods and stuff like that. So when I brought that up in the past, I wasn't saying like, hey, the deck it won't top. It can top, and the chances of it topping are just kind of hard, especially if there's more rounds versus less rounds. I feel like the less rounds there are, the higher chance a deck like this can top personally, because you really need to make sure you don't brick. Now this looks like normal V stuff. Everything here has topped. It is interesting to see that Spectral Duke is showing results a lot recently. It hasn't really been a thing for the last couple months, and then for some reason recently it's just been popping off. The 2 Shadow Paladin, 1 Golds, 1 Grand Blue, 1 Bermuda Triangle, 1 Spike Brothers, 1 Royal Paladin, 1 Great Nature. The Spike Brothers is a little interesting to see having results again. I guess it just has a good time into this meta or something. I think Spikes is actually pretty good. I'm one of those people that's been bitching about Spikes for probably 2 years now, because I just happened to face 2 out of the 5 Spikes players in the entire world a lot. So both of them are close friends of mine, and I have definitely seen the deck in action a lot of times, way too many in some cases. And I personally know how to fight the deck, but I will say when the deck pops off, the deck pops off. And again, I brought this up I think last time I saw Spikes top. If you don't know how to play the matchup, it's actually a very hard deck to play around, but if you do know the matchup, I think the deck's significantly easier. Top 4, which is quite a bit of Luar. We got Luar to first, Luar to second, Duke in third, and this makes sense to me. Duke should beat Night Rose. I will say Duke doesn't usually run all their PGs. I'm actually curious to see what this list looks like, so let's go ahead and check it out real quick. See here, are they running the 50-50 split? They're not. They're running all 4 PGs. That is crazy to me. The reason why it's crazy to me is because this deck decks out like so fast. I guess you could finish before, that doesn't matter, but otherwise this deck decks out. Now something to keep in mind, this is a low-key meta pick. A lot of people don't know about this card. This card plays around Thavas really easily. If Thavas calls out all their pursuits, this deck just says, all right, they're gone now, specifically with this card. And this deck does see so much of its pieces so quickly that you will find the Coloris. So that's why this is a very interesting, in my opinion. I think if you're going to face Thavas, this is an insanely good deck to take. And also these 20Ks do come up. You actually want to take damage. You just want to go aggro. But I am surprised about this, because I'm gonna be real. I tried 4 PGs. I tried several times because I'm like, man, I really want that perfect guard. Like sometimes you really need it, but you just deck out because you have not 3, sometimes you have 7 drive checks coming. This calls from top card. This draws you a ton of cards. This searches. This draws you cards. You have the early early on power of just getting, you know, early getting cards to hand. And then on top of that, you have the on ride where you're calling 2. And then on top of that, you also have excel markers. So this deck sounds like it doesn't go through your deck a lot, but it goes through your deck a lot. I definitely stand behind this deck. I think it's actually really strong. I thought the Percival, you know, the Percival stuff would kill it, but surprisingly enough, the deck performs well. You'll notice there's no promos in here, and actually it's because you don't need them. You won't need the new promo that's coming, but you don't need any of the recent promos that's come out. They're all just not very good for this deck. I was coping for a little bit. I was running them and I was like, why am I running this? Like this card right here just does everything for you. That was V. Let's go over to Germany standard. So this is what Germany standard looked like. Overall, just another avant-garde actually, but this one makes a little bit more sense that this is before set 13. So we had avant-garde, we had Orphis, we got some Gridons, Gandiva, some Amigaricio stuff going on. Really good stuff. Let's look at top 4. Top 4 is very Orphis heavy with some Gandiva and some Gridon. All very strong decks. Orphis can be a monster. I think I talked to this person, I asked them some questions about how they feel about counterchargers. That's the one thing I noticed I struggle with this deck is that sometimes I get denied. Sometimes I self-deny myself, like I just hit the OT defensively and I'm like, okay, I can't do anything. And this deck is really big on wanting to pressure as fast as possible since it is still a little glass cannon. It's not as glass cannon as it used to be. It can survive for quite a while, but still it can be glass cannon. Everything else in here is also really strong. So we're all well aware of that. Congratulations to those people. Then we had Germany. This is Germany V. So we had 2 Bermuda Triangle, 2 Grand Blue, 1 Aqua Force, 1 Shadow Paladin, 1 Oracle Think Tank, and 1 Royal Paladin. Oracle Think Tank is definitely the more unusual one, I would say, in here. This deck does have an insane guard restrict. It's very annoying, especially if you're going to reverse or whatever, and it can definitely like cost you. If you see this, you need to start setting up like crazy. Like your hand needs to start like you need to start thinking, all right, they're gonna have a guard restrict and I need to deal with that. It's been popping up more too. I don't know what's been going on with Duke and Sanctuary. They're both very similar decks, by the way. It's just funny to see them pop up. But it's top 4, all very different decks. And then the Anju got first place. By the way, this is pre-promo, so this is without the promo. So that's really awesome to see that it just got first place anyway. Considering that Night Rose probably does have the promo in here, and then, you know, obviously Thabas is pretty strong too. So and then we had Sanctuary Guard, but sometimes Anju just pops off like crazy. I will say I think in pre-promo this deck is a little bit weaker. I think post-promo this deck is like significantly stronger. That promo just changes a lot about how the deck functions early on too. It definitely makes the deck significantly stronger in my opinion. Definitely a competitive deck now. I think it was already a competitive deck. We know that just from results and everything. It just got even stronger. Here we have the Germany premium results. This is 3 Grand Blue. Wow, it's a lot of Grand Blue. 2 Neo Nectar, 2 Narukami, 1 Link Joker. What top 4 looked like in Grand Blue did not make it at all. Whew, I don't know what happened, but you know, sometimes bricks happen. The Grand Blue is very, very reliant on having a good early game to stabilize late game, so that can go against them. Got a bunch of Katrina, the Link Joker more Katrina, and then we had the Narukami. Keep in mind this is before the ban list. No, I don't know honestly if Narukami will be bad going into post ban list. I will say some people are a little shooken up over the Ballista Eve stuff, so there might be a chance that people might be too scared to be on Narukami, but we'll have to see. Houston. So this is Houston. We had the standard 3 Greedon, 2 Youthberg, which is very unusual because Youthberg isn't a very popular pick nowadays. We had 1 Gandiva, 1 Bastion, and 1 Orphis. That get Bastion showing some representation even without the owls, so that's what we're seeing here. Bastion getting the invite too. That's crazy. So we had the first place is Gandiva, second place is Bastion, third place being Youthberg. Wow, it's actually very interesting too. And then fourth place we had the Greedon. So overall, just really awesome results to see here. It's nice to see the Bastion, the Youthberg kind of come out. It's kind of funny. They're both like dark and lights, and they're both like kind of like facing each other. They're facing in a very interesting way. I don't know. It just looks cool to me. But overall, congratulations. Awesome to see Youthberg performing. I am kind of curious. We can check out the Youthberg list to see if it's changed. They are running. This is the Count Boss So West. This is Calbury. They're running Calbury. They are running this. This is a little bit of a change. So that's good to see that. This card's just nuts. I think this card's like actually just really, it's free. I can understand even downsizing on this for this card because this card just says, hey, find the thing you're looking for. Seeing the cycle cards is interesting that you don't need to worry about soul as much. So I understand this is basically this card's replacing Reedy. Oh, this is a Schneisel list. Yes, I hate Schneisel. I hate that card. I think it's a stupid card. This person's not running it. I like this person. Sorry, I need you to get that. I hate Schneisel's been like my least favorite card in Youthberg. I did test Youthberg for a little bit. I was like, God, I hate Schneisel. It is so nice to see that this list just said screw that card. Houston Premium, and of course there is that lovely Eve. There she is. I'm actually very happy to see that there is a world where Eve is being used as a Vanguard. It may not be being used the best way, but it's a cool card. But anyway, so we have three Narukami, 2 Neo Nectar, 1 Mega Colony, 1 Grand Blue, and obviously the 1 Eve, which is Bermuda Triangle. And this is what the results looked like. Francisco, aka Nar Samurai, took it all with the Eve and was very happy. I actually really like the photos that they posted of him and Peter. They were so cute. I don't know what it was about it, but they were super wholesome until they showed feet, specifically Peter. Cool, their smiles are so cute. And then for some reason, the top 4 photo, Peter just looks so funny in it. I don't know why, it just looks hilarious. But otherwise, overall, really good stuff. We also had a bunch of Narukami here. So holy crap, there's so much Narukami. So I actually didn't know. I was so focused on the fact that Eve topped, I didn't even realize that there was 3 Narukami in top 4. The V Premium side, this is the Houston V Premium breakdown. So we had 3 Night Rose, 2 Shadow Pound, 1 Bermuda Triangle, 1 Aquaforce, and of course we had 1 Gear Chronicle. It just wouldn't be a BCS with at least 1 Steam Maiden and V somehow breaking through. Overall, everything here is like the best decks possible, in my opinion. I think if you were to compete, with the exception of maybe Maidens, I think these 4 right here are just like the choices to take. I will say this deck is going to start falling off, in my opinion. So I think this deck will start seeing less of, and it'll be just boop, boop, and boop. These 3 mainly. The deck is going to be replaced by gold soon, basically. So the Luard stands are going to slowly go down a little bit, and then the Gurgit stands are going to rise up, and we're going to basically see this chart, but it's just going to be Gurgit instead. So top 4 looks like a bunch of Night Rose and Thavas and Night Rose and Anj. Overall, these are all very strong decks. All of these decks into each other is a pretty hard time. I will say, as I mentioned earlier, which is why surprising is a little bit different, Anj is the weakest of this group right now because Anj doesn't have her promo. Overall, just really good results. Congratulations to everybody. Definitely all very strong decks. This pie chart is very scary to look at. I'm not gonna lie. We're about to see a bunch of changes kind of happen in V a little bit. And I'm actually really looking forward to Duluth. I think Duluth meta is gonna be very interesting because it's gonna have the ban list. It's gonna have the Owl from Bastion. It's gonna have the promo for Anj, and then Premium's also gonna have the ban list in mind. So we're gonna have that little love tap. So the little love tap we had, and it's just gonna be really interesting to see kind of how all this develops. No more Ballista, no more Gandiva, or more so that they're gonna be just below enough to where they shouldn't be seeing results. So that's also gonna be cool. I feel we're gonna have a very interesting meta coming forth. I don't know if there's another BCS between now and then. I know we have Bureau happening, so Bureau will be happening pretty soon, and then we have Duluth, and I believe Bureau will have the ban list in mind as well. So long story short, the next upcoming results should be very interesting. So you should stay tuned and get ready for those. So don't forget to subscribe and like and all that fun stuff. Don't forget to shop at VANGUARD.shop as well for use code Orange for any of your goodies, especially if you're about to compete and you need more stuff. Well, guess what? You can use my code, save yourself some money, get yourself some cards. And if not, you can get you some accessories. And if you don't need accessories, you can pre-order stuff for the future as well, because he does those as well. Let me know below how you feel about all the results and everything happening. I know there's a bunch of Eve, even Wilson discussions, but don't forget everyone else also performed really well, also had a lot of results in there. So feel free to let me know below how you feel about that. Other than that, guys, peace out. That's been done. I'll see you guys in the future video. Bye.